Hey, we're Polaris.
And we covered Eskimo Joe's Black Fingernails Red Wine for like a version.
We obviously had a list and none of them really worked, and then you put together 4 and everyone was just like, Black
That's
Fingernails.
the one, yeah.
Everyone loved that song growing up.
I remember Black Fingernails and Sarah just rotating on the radio, and I loved those songs. They're the types of melodies and lyrics that we would want to write, you know. It's like something we could see ourselves singing, and I think that was really crucial for us, something that made sense for our band. There doesn't seem to be anything on the internet confirming like what the actual meaning of the song is. All there is a little story that we all read about him kind of, the vocalist having gone to the bathroom holding a cup of wine and put it down on top of the toilet or something, and then looked at his hand wearing his black fingernails and thought this is a fun little song title.
You'd know, you write the lyrics. Sometimes you're just writing lyrics because they sound cool and you work out what they mean afterwards.
I don't know if we'll ever know what the actual angle was. It's just a dark little song. I sat down and programmed out some rough guitar ideas and made kind of like a skeleton structure for it. And then I think I put down some whispery vocals, the scream parts.
Scratch vocal parts. And went over to Rick's and shaped up the riff to be a bit more exciting and made it a bit heavier.
I think one of the challenging things was it's a really detailed song.
Yeah.
And you don't realise that necessarily the first few times you listen to it, but Jake went through all of the layers. He went meticulously we were trying to...
To the point though that I was kind of like saying to the guys, oh, actually we didn't hear this part. Let's make sure that we find a way to reflect that in the music. And Rick's like, we just don't need to. I was like, come on, let's put this in.
There's so much orchestration.
There's a lot.
We had some grand ambitions when we first started planning this. We're like, we're going to go into like a version with a string quartet and a keyboard and all this stuff. And then because of, you know, the restrictions and everything going on at the moment, we had to kind of change our plan and stuff. But I think we managed to maintain.
Oh yeah, we did what we wanted to do. We just didn't have as many people in the room. So
maybe one day.
Probably for the better in the end. But
yeah.
With the year and the way things are, our guitarist having flu conditions meant that he couldn't be here, so we had to get a friend who very graciously filled in for us, who's an amazing guitarist, Pliny.
Having someone that talented to be able to step in was just an absolute godsend, so shout outs Pliny.
I was quite anxious. I think like coming up to this, as the days started to tick down this week and they kind of went from 5 to 4 to 3, the anxiety really started to hit me. To know that you were proud of what we put together, but just that anxiety of being like, I would like it to go well.
You want to nail it.
You want to nail it. It feels like when we're at practice, like we're playing really
honestly,
tightly together.
It wasn't that different.
No, it really wasn't.
No, it's just
there's something about when you play a
yeah.
stage and you face a crowd, it's about them. And when we turn around and face a circle, it's really about, it's really suddenly we're playing with each other a lot more than it ever feels. You ideally want them to be able to recognize the song based off of you playing it, or are you really doing a cover? That's not true all the time, but I think that's kind of how we approached it, at least, is that we wanted people to recognize by hearing it, but it to sound like Polaris.
If we'd taken a song that was already quite heavy and just tried to translate it, I feel like honestly we probably wouldn't have been really able to get as creative with it.
Yeah.
But it does come with its own challenges because, you know, just taking what someone has sung softly and deciding to scream it in some parts and stuff. I know some people won't like it. I know that that kind of stuff is not for everybody, but it's what we do. They enjoy this. I hope they go back and listen to that whole album, because I started bumping it when we got into this cover and I remembered how good the entire record is. It's a great record. So yeah, shout out Eskimo Joe.
Yeah, there you go.
Great writers.
Cheers, Triple J.